Welcome to English Simplified now. Today, I'm diving into my personal experience of studying English for 3 months, and I'm going to share everything I learned and how my skills improved. This video isn't just about my journey. It's packed with insights, real strategies, and tips that you can use to level up your English, just like I did. Now, to really get into the details of today's topic, I've also made a free PDF that you can download from the link in the description below. It'll help you understand all the key points in a deeper way, with extra exercises and resources that you can use. So make sure to grab that PDF. So I decided to take the challenge. I committed myself to studying English for 3 months, and I can tell you, it was an eye-opening experience. But what happened in those 3 months? Was it just learning grammar rules and memorizing vocabulary? No. What I learned goes much deeper, and it's exactly what I'm going to break down for you today. The first thing I realized was that studying English is more than just sitting with a book or watching videos. It's about building a routine that immerses you in the language in ways that are consistent and engaging. The first week, laying the foundation. In the first week, I focused on laying the foundation. I wasn't concerned with speaking perfectly or knowing all the grammar rules. I just wanted to build the habit. Step 1. Daily practice. One of the most important things I did was practice every day. I didn't aim for long hours, but for consistency. Whether it was 15 minutes or 45 minutes, I made sure I practiced every day. I started with the basics, like understanding common phrases, basic vocabulary, and simple grammar structures. I used flashcards to learn new words, and I watched videos with subtitles to get the hang of pronunciation and sentence structure. The takeaway here: consistency is key. Even small chunks of study time can add up over the weeks. Step 2. Listening to native speakers. I also began immersing myself in English by listening to podcasts, watching TV shows, and listening to audiobooks. It's essential to hear real-world English, not just textbook examples. This helped me start understanding the flow of the language, and I began to pick up phrases I never would have learned from a book. The first month, building skills as I moved into the second week and then the third, things started to get interesting. This is when I started to notice real improvements. I was understanding English faster, and I felt more comfortable with speaking. But here's where things started to really click. Step 1. Focused grammar practice. At this stage, I shifted my focus more toward grammar. Instead of memorizing rules out of context, I started using grammar in real situations. I did this by practicing with writing exercises and speaking practice. Writing short stories and journal entries became a way for me to use new grammar structures actively. The goal wasn't perfection. It was using what I learned in practice. This helped me not only understand grammar, but also apply it. Step 2. Vocabulary expansion. In the first month, I made it a goal to expand my vocabulary. I didn't just learn isolated words. I focused on learning vocabulary in context. For example, I'd watch a movie and jot down new words or phrases that were used in a conversation. Then I'd make my own sentences with those words. It was a practical way of learning that helped me remember the words better. The second month, strengthening skills and gaining confidence by the second month, I felt like I had built a solid foundation. It was no longer about just learning vocabulary or grammar. I started to put everything together to improve my fluency. Step 1. Speaking and writing daily. I began speaking more. It was intimidating at first, but I realized that speaking was the most important part of the process. I started by speaking to myself. I'd describe things around me, tell stories in English, and practice simple conversations in my mind. Then, I took the next step and joined language exchange programs. Speaking to native speakers helped me understand the real nuances of the language and gain confidence. Additionally, writing became a regular part of my routine. I started writing essays and emails in English, focusing on expressing myself clearly. This helped me organize my thoughts and get comfortable with sentence structures. Step 2. Active listening and mimicry. One technique that really worked for me was mimicry. I'd listen to a sentence or phrase, pause the audio, and try to repeat it exactly as I heard it. This exercise helped me with pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. The more I did this, the more fluent I felt. It also improved my listening skills, allowing me to understand faster. The third month, refining and mastering in the third month, everything started to feel more natural. I was no longer translating from my native language into English in my head. English started to feel like a language I could think in, which is a huge milestone. Step 1. Advanced grammar and idioms. By the third month, I focused more on complex structures, things like advanced grammar points and idiomatic expressions. These were things I had only heard native speakers use, and I wanted to sound more natural. I practiced by incorporating idioms into my daily conversations. For example, I learned expressions like get the ball rolling or by the book, and I practiced using them in different scenarios. Step 2. Real conversations in real contexts. I also stepped up my speaking game. Instead of just talking about random things, I started to have real conversations with people on topics that interested me, like traveling, food, culture, and technology. Engaging in meaningful conversations helped me stay motivated and fine-tune my speaking skills. What did I learn in 3 months? So, after studying English for 3 months, here's what I can tell you. You can see real progress if you're consistent. But it's not just about knowing the grammar rules or memorizing words. It's about consistency. Practice every day, even if it's for a short time. It's the consistency that builds your skills over time. Contextual learning. Learn vocabulary and grammar in context. Don't just memorize. Use the words in your speaking and writing. Speaking and listening. Engage with the language actively. Speak, even if you make mistakes, and listen to native speakers as much as possible. Patience. You won't become fluent overnight. It takes time, but the more you engage with English, the more natural it will feel. Okay, now let's conclude our today's episode of English Simplified Now by following a structured plan of consistent practice, learning in context, and engaging with real-world English. I made significant progress in just 3 months. And the best part, you can do the same. Remember, learning a language is a journey, not a destination. Keep practicing, stay curious, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. And don't forget to dive deeper into the strategies I mentioned today. Make sure to download the free PDF from the description below. It's packed with extra tips, exercises, and all the important details you need to take your learning to the next level. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more English learning tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.